Just another beautiful morning. It's definitely feeling more like autumn though. Big yellow's just coming up there, and then in the middle of summer it comes up from over this way, so it's gradually moving around. But the drill's here this morning. Jackie's over there, I've seen her turn up before. So I've finished milking, I've only got one row to go, and then we'll go and have a look. That's Darcy's new Horsch drill. He got it, I think, like a couple of months ago. I didn't end up spraying out these paddocks either, it's just been too windy. You can see it's like 7:30 in the morning, or 7:45, and it's pretty windy up there, so just haven't had a chance over the last couple of days. I think these are all just docks that are coming up. But it's not too bad because it's going into an annual, and by an annual I mean that it's like a really short-lived grass, so it grows really fast. And then next season we'll spray it out and kill it for maize again. So it's really just sort of like a winter crop, so we're planting it now in the autumn. It'll grow through the winter and then into the spring, and then get sprayed out and put back into maize. So it's not too bad. Like I said, it grows really fast, so it does sort of outcompete some of these weeds a bit as well, which helps. But if I was going into a permanent, like the paddock over there is going into a permanent pasture, which means that once we plant it, we're not planning on working it back up again, then I would spray it. So I have actually sprayed that paddock with Roundup. Just those patches are real bad in willow weed, but also just to kill some of that summer grass too. So that should come up pretty good, although it is getting power harrowed, so it's getting worked up and roller drilled, which should knock around some of the weeds as well. But my plan was to do 2 years of maize in this paddock, and then at the end of next maize harvest, I will probably give it a good Roundup when it goes back into permanent. These girls are wondering where their silage is. Dad helped me milk this morning, so they haven't been fed out to yet. They normally would be. She's just finishing off the headlands. That drills pretty fast too, which I guess it's supposed to. I don't know much about them, but pretty cool piece of kit. Well, she's certainly getting through it. Not too much left, a couple more runs. But it looks like it does a pretty good job, eh? Heaps of compaction, which is good. Have a little look for some seeds. I'm pretty terrible at finding them, to be honest, but they should be pretty obvious, you would think. I think that was it there. I don't know if they're treated or not. Yeah, I couldn't see anything. But if you're wondering what seed I'm putting in the ground, I can confidently say I have absolutely no idea. This seed actually comes from, or I get it through Finch's, and Darcy buys it from a grower direct down south. I think it comes from somewhere down in Canterbury. He just buys a container load and it comes up and we just buy it off him, and it is a lot cheaper than buying through, say, the farm stores in town, so it's pretty cheap seed. I don't know if it's treated, I'd have to double check on that one. But it grows really fast, so it is still a good crop, and effectively, like I was saying, like we only grow it for, we're putting it in now in March, and then it goes back into maize in October, so it's for really only sort of 6 months of the year. But yeah, still a good seed. I guess you could just say that he's cutting out the middleman, which makes it that little bit cheaper, I guess. Right, so we're here with Jackie. Jackie's driving the tractor today on the new Horsch, and she likes it. Good drill.
Yeah, it's good. It's better than last year's drill.
Yeah, and you're from Galway, as I think I remember.
Yeah,
I was speaking to her at the rugby club one night.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, cool place. I've actually been there, so that's why I remembered.
Yeah.
But this is your first season with Finch's?
I'm here a year now. Yeah, so I
you've
started
been here a year.
March last year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so coming on, just over a year now.
And how do you like it? Do you enjoy it?
It's good. Yeah, it has its days, but every job has its days.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. No.
And how long have you been in New Zealand for?
2.5 years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I started milking cows when I first came out.
Oh right, as everyone does, I suppose.
Yeah, a bit of goats as well. But
true.
yeah, I started
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I started milking goats.
Oh, something a bit different, eh?
Yeah, I was only meant to stay for 4 months.
Oh yeah.
Because I came over with my college to do my placement.
Yeah.
And 2.5 years later, I'm still here.
Far out. So does that mean are you going to head back to Ireland at some stage, or do you like it too much out here?
I wouldn't mind a trip, but I don't think I could move back in with my mother and all that. I've got my independence now and I'm happy.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah. So could you see yourself staying over here?
Yeah, I'm applying for residency right now. Yeah, so
good stuff. How good's that? So if anybody from Ireland's watching and you want to come to New Zealand, you might end up staying.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's quite cool. She's going for residency. I can't see why they wouldn't give it to her. But she also did clear a few things up, which is quite cool, off camera. So Darcy doesn't actually own that drill. He hasn't bought it. He's just trialing it with the intention that if he likes it, he's going to buy it. The seed that we're using isn't treated, and it's going on at 30 kilos to the hectare. And I was also wondering, I didn't say on here, but I was also wondering if that had auto row shut off, because I've seen her going over a few patches that she'd gone over, but it was just because the drill had sort of slid down the hillside and she was just sort of correcting it, the little skips. But it doesn't have auto row shut off, which is pretty unlikely in these seed drills. It's mostly for sort of precision planters that have that sort of stuff. Almost finished over there though, I think, just on the last pass. And then just this last paddock here, which is only about a hectare, so it won't take long, and it's nice and rectangular. No real little tricky bits in it. But just this wind, it's picking up again. It's actually got a little bit of a nip to it too. I really want to get those paddocks sprayed out on the hill over there and get them regrassed as soon as, but I just can't spray in this wind, or I can't get the sprayer in this wind. Just too much drift. that's great to get these drilled. I've just got that last paddock to do. I probably should ring up and see if I can get it done in the next couple of days, because I don't want this stuff to germinate, because the way to get to that paddock I've got to come through these. So I never thought about that until right now, so I'll ring up and see if I can get that booked in sooner rather than later. I also didn't put fert down the tube or down the spout with this grass seed. You can do, but it just costs a little bit more. So we actually started putting out autumn fertilizer on yesterday, did a load, so just put DAP on these paddocks in front of the drill, so at least it'll get a little bit of uptake that way. Really impressed with that drill though, it did a really good job. See what the strike rate's like now. So to put it into perspective though, this is Darcy's maize paddock across the road, and they drilled this probably 2 to 3 weeks ago, and you can see it's probably, it'll be 1 inch to 2 inches tall, some of it. You can even see the drill rows. It's coming up pretty well. It's got that green tinge to it. I thought I'd just show you that because it is interesting. So like I said, it was probably planted 2 to 3 weeks earlier. Thinking about it now, it was probably planted more like 3 to 4 weeks ago. So back then there was no rain on the forecast. It was still pretty dry. We were going into another dry period. So I wanted to wait till we got rain, or we could see rain coming. There's a little bit of moisture around. In hindsight, I probably did the wrong thing. I should have just put seed in the ground once the maize seed came off and just let it sit there. Like that stuff across the road, it did germinate, and then once the rain came, it's just got a big boost and it's grown like stink now. So that's something to think about for next year anyway, food for thought. A big push, I'd love to get my own drill though to be able to do this, and then at least I can get it in the ground when I want, just around that whole timing thing, because it is good using contractors, but they just come when they can fit you in. So if you say you want them tomorrow, they might not be here for another week, and yeah, I'm probably a week behind where I would have liked to have drilled that stuff, maybe even 10 days. So just, yeah, it's all food for thought. I also hooked this trough up today, which is mean. Got some water in it. Cows are drunken a bit, but it's a bit hard to show you now that it's half full, but yeah, there's a lot of pressure coming out of that bullcock, which is good. Oh, you can sort of see there's a bit of water coming out of that. And it's so nice to have just run the fence straight through there instead of having to dog leg around that trough up there. But it's green, the farmer's greening up, which is nice. So that'll pretty much do it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, remember, give it a thumbs up, that'd be awesome. And apart from that, see you next time.